All right. Well, this is not how the last morning session of the podcast was supposed to go. Let's see. Get that done. Okay, here we go. Now, before I get started, music levels are good, correct? Got that notification squad checking in. Love it, Adam. Love it. My man Nick Ray. What's up, dude? Batflip BP. Finally made it on time today. Yeah, the one day I'm late. Ooh-wee, though. Let me tell you. I'm glad to be here. This isn't how we planned on the last morning session of the show going down, but we're gonna make it work. I promise. How is everybody doing this morning? First and foremost. Ooh-wee! No, Eric, we'll change. As of now, I believe the plan is to go to days next week, and if all that holds true, then the first episode of the night shift will be, well, the night shift podcast will be next week on Wednesday at 9 o'clock. I'll post when I know for sure. I have this small and sneaking suspicion that I'm going to get screwed here. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. All bias and politics and everything else left aside. Management can be frustrating at times, and I feel like I'm going to walk into work tonight on my Friday and get told that I'm not going to day shift yet. Even though when I was notified that I won the bid and I was moving, that my first day would be on the 13th of September, and nobody has said a word about it at all. And I really feel like I'm about to get hit with a, oh, hey, by the way, we're not ready for you to leave yet. I'm holding my breath. It's not going to happen, but I have my sneaking suspicions. But we'll see what happens. That's all we can do. Is, let's see. Is my computer working? Can you hear me? Sorry, I came in, booted my computer up. Okay, now here comes a bunch of messages at once. Okay. I came in, booted my computer up, and basically just like the second the home screen came up, I just started opening my broadcasting software so I could get started. And computers are kind of like car engines sometimes. You need them to kind of get warmed up before you just throttle it and pedal the metal. And I came in and just basically smashed it wide open. And I got just a couple of programs and things that needed to update, download updates, and then install updates. So waiting on all that to happen, it kind of bogged the computer down a little bit. And I don't know if like my internet ever got choppy or not, but I was just like, there was literally nothing in the chat after Eric's, I thought you changed times, and then like everything just like hit out of nowhere. So like, I feel like it's freezing up again here. I don't know. But as long as you can still hear me, then we're going to roll with it. I hope everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. Boy, I know I did. We had a good time. We went down to the tournament I was telling you guys about down there in the good old Jamestown, Missouri. It was an adventure, you might say. So the tournament starts on Friday night and usually runs through Saturday, runs through Sunday, and finishes up early Monday afternoon. And lo and behold, the weather struck. And really kind of screwed us, if you want me to be honest. But we made it work. We ended up playing our game Friday night and then not getting hardly anything done Saturday. They didn't play a single game on Saturday. The tournament was supposed to start at like 8 a.m., 8 or 9 a.m. on Saturday. And they basically just canceled the entire day of softball on Saturday. And it went from a 3-game guarantee to double elimination, because there's only been 3 games played out of the entire tournament, men's and women's, and it's there was 9 co-ed and 7 men's on one field. So they had to do something, so they compromised, made it double elimination, and a 2-2 count. You still had your courtesy foul, so you could still get a little weird with it, which, kind of hindsight on that, if you're going to give a courtesy foul, you might as well just go with a 2-1 count. Because, I mean, you essentially get a strike to do whatever you want with. In a way, I mean, yeah, you have to be swinging at anything close. But, I don't know. It worked out. Day of softball in the books. We had fun. What did we take? 3rd in men's and 4th in co-ed, I think. Yes. Took 3rd in men's, 4th in co-ed. I even went, I was live on Facebook for a little bit. I was live. So the stream camera that the Sonic guys use was live, and you can barely hear me in the background calling the games. I don't know if everybody saw the picture or not, but basically it's at a high school baseball field, a baseball fast pitch field. And excuse me, I had to get a drink. And basically they have like the score stand and score booth and everything up there for the scorekeepers and whether they're on the scoreboard and everything. And they have someone announcing all day, every game. There's people like, basically like announcing the game, announcing who's batting and lineups and that kind of thing. And I made a joke with the guy running the tournament. I was like, man, you going to let me come up there and call a couple games? He's like, well, actually, if you wanted to come up here, that'd be great, because I got to go play. I was like, shit, you ain't got to tell me twice. Like, if anybody knows anything about me, what do they know? I like to talk. So, that worked out really good. I got up in there and got some commentating done. I was going to go live from my phone onto the Facebook page, but the way the booth and everything was set up and the backstop, I couldn't get the phone to not focus on the fence. So it would have just been the phone focused on the fence and me talking a mean line of shit about basically everything that was going on the field. It was fun too, because I had a lot of friends playing, so we was able to take some jabs and make some jokes and things like that. It was a lot of fun. I had an absolute blast doing that. And I told him that. I was like, hey man, thanks for letting me do that. I said that was a lot of fun. I said, you let me know if you need me to do that next year. He goes, you can absolutely do it next year. I was like, shit, bet. So if anything, I have that to look forward to for next year. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It genuinely was a good time. It's like, if you guys have followed the Facebook page at all, then you know that I do like to broadcast the games from time to time. If there's a game that I can broadcast, I like to broadcast the games. So to sit there and kind of do one in time in real person, in real time and in person, I thought was a pretty cool opportunity. And as well as having the scoreboard and everything there and just the environment in general, it was a lot of fun. we had lots of laughs, lots of giggles. Brian was in there with me for a little bit. I thought maybe if we could get Brian's stage fright shook, that he might join me for a podcast here soon. Because that's what I told him. I said, listen. I joked around with him this morning about podcasting. And he says, I'm not doing that. I was like, well, dude, listen. I said, here's the deal. I said, you basically sat and talked for, a good hour or so in front of about 200 people, because it's like a big Labor Day festival over there. It's not just a softball tournament. It's like a big Labor Day festival. And we basically spent the whole time talking over there in front of, 200 people, thinking like, oh yeah, maybe Brian's got the stage fright shook. Maybe he'll get in the mood and do a podcast with me, but he's still not having that. So I still got to work with him on the podcast, but at least we got him in the booth. It was it was fun. It was basically me calling the game and him saying something witty for my local guys. He was kind of like my Mike Shannon, you might say. Just chime in, say something witty every once in a while, and then kind of fade back off into the darkness. But it was fun. I had a blast. Had a lot of fun playing this weekend. We did well, so that's always a plus. And just like a few takeaways from the weekend as well. It was an interesting weekend in some regards in terms of human interaction. I'll say that for sure. Sometimes you just never know about people. What they're up to, what they're capable of, who you know and who you don't. But sometimes softball can be an eye-opener and kind of let you know who's got your back and who don't. Being that this was a local tournament, I probably already said too much. Being that this was a local tournament, and I know that I have lots of people that listen to this, I'm not going to get too far into detail because, like I said, I've already opened my mouth and said too much. But the only thing more I'm going to say is, if you were there, then you know. Yeah. So moving on. Away from that disaster. Let's see. Get caught up with the chat here just real quick. BGF in the house. What's up, big dog? Okay, so D-Ray did tell them to do a 2-1 count. That's kind of my thought. But I guess the idea behind it is like the courtesy can still give you the opportunity to swing at a close pitch and try and shank one off, or try and hit a line. But it's going to keep you from standing there waiting on the perfect pitch to do it. Nick, we took third in co-ed? I didn't realize that. Okay. I knew we beat Regal. And then I thought that put us in the winner's semi. I don't know. I can't remember. But, sorry, I'm sitting here reading. D-Ray said the best one-liner was when Holman hit a ball back at Moots. Yeah, that ball was scooting. What did I say? I said if he's not awake, he is now. I think that's what I said. So I had a guy out there pitching and throws the pitch in, and this guy that was hitting is notoriously known for hitting the ball very hard and usually a country mile. And he's one of those guys, like he's literally country strong. As long as he can get his barrel to the ball, he's going to hit it hard. And oh yeah. So that ball, basically the ball went in between the pitcher's glove and his ear. And I'm not kidding you when I say like there was just enough room for the ball to get through. And even then, his glove was up after the ball went by. I mean, the dude just country strong, just like he tucked his hands into his chest and ball shot through there. And dude, that ball was cooking. Like, I am glad that he did not get hit, because that would not have been a good situation. But man, I'm telling you what, that was a close one there. I think I might have said that about somebody else. Somebody had a ball but hit back at him, and I said, if he's not awake, he is now, because it was like 3 a.m. We were out there pretty late on Saturday night / Sunday morning. We were out there pretty late. Or wait, no, it was Monday. Gosh, get your days right. The whole weekend's just a blur anyway. But in general, though, softball was fun. Hit a lot of home runs, and it was like 265 fences, and they're like tall. There's like a short porch with a tall one, with a tall what do I want to say? With a tall fence, like 265 with a tall fence, and you can miss a fly ball out of there, but I struck the ball pretty well this weekend. Oh, D-Ray, don't you even start with me. D-Ray said no ice cream sandwich. So we've got this running joke. It's been a running joke for, gosh, years now. Started way back in the day with my guy, Tony Wales. I wish it was summertime so he was here. I'd probably honestly call him and put him on the spot right here on the podcast. So we used to do this thing at League where basically, honestly, maybe showboating, maybe not, but it was honestly just a matter of like trying to get the game over with in a way. We would basically have a contest and see who could hit the highest fly ball that did not go out of the ballpark. So you have to hit it in the air, and it can't leave the park. And whoever did it, whoever could manage to do that, won an ice cream sandwich. It was a kind of a running joke for a while, and we did it for a while, and then we stopped. And then I looked at Dustin at one point. D-Ray, I looked at D-Ray, and I said, "Man," I said, "I just want to go home." He said, "Man, me too." I said, "Tell you what," I said, let's help the cause then. I said, ice cream sandwich to whoever can hit the highest pop fly that does not leave the park. And it was actually really funny because I think he and I both hit some of our furthest balls of the weekend trying to, because you think about it, you're on a short fence. So it just really adds to the element of, you got to make sure you get it really high in the air or you're screwed. So the short fence added an element that neither one of us were really prepared for. So I knew I had to get it like elevated. I knew I had to get it extremely high in the air. And it had a left-handed pitcher pitching to me and just throwing a ball that was just, beautifully hooking over the plate and getting right where I needed it to. And every time I swung, I just hit it further and further and further. I think I hit some of my longest balls of the weekend just trying to hit a 10-mile high pop fly. It was really funny. But it worked out. And let's see, I think D-Ray and I both had home runs in almost every swing we took. Besides one swing. Each of us had one swing where we didn't hit a ball out. Dustin, you're in the chat. Would you like to tell them who won the ice cream sandwich contest? Because here's the way I'm looking at this. Chat, weigh in. Chat, you're going to be the tiebreaker here. Hang on. Let's do this. And then... All right, so we got a poll coming up in the chat right now. And it was not a ground ball. It was a line drive, one hop through the 6-hole. Line drive. I say a line drive. It was like a cut line drive. It was dropping down. It was turned over through the 6-hole, one hop through the infield, right past the third baseman. Or D-Ray's chopper that went maybe to the pitcher's mound and started bouncing. That was the only balls that he and I both kept in the park during this game. So the question is, did we tie? Because theoretically, neither one of us hit a fly ball. He was trying really hard to one-up me. With the ground ball that he hit, he tried really hard to one-up me. But it just didn't work out. And I think it was really funny. The base hit won it. In my mind, the base hit won it. But I'm also advocating for myself here a little bit. See, we got people weighing in saying it might have been a tie. I don't know about that. I bet D-Ray's. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. We know who voted for Dustin. Dustin voted for Dustin. We know that. But it's really funny. Sometimes I like doing stuff like that. Not that we were... I mean, I guess you could say we were trying to lose the game, in theory. But sometimes when you're playing ball against friends... Okay, Batflip BP's got it right. We owe each other some ice cream. That's fair. That's fair. Because in theory, neither one of us said if... Okay, so you did say tie. Must be your brother voting for you then. So maybe that's it. Maybe we owe each other some ice cream. Maybe that's what... Or you know... If you know the BP hero at all, you don't get ice cream. You go to QT and get pull-apart donuts. Because pull-apart donuts are life at QT. If you don't know, now you know. If you got a QT, go there about 8-ish in the morning when they're still warm and fresh. Get yourself a pull-apart donut, a small piece of heaven, and thank me later. So Nick voted for me as well. Yeah, see, okay, so I got Nick on my team. So we're just kind of hanging out here doing our thing. Like, I haven't had like a huge list of topics to talk about a whole lot here lately. Just because you guys can keep us, the chat can keep us pretty busy. Telling stories and that kind of thing can keep us busy. I am working on something here while I'm talking. Working on a little project. It's like a I'm sorry for being late. But does anybody have any topics or anything they want to discuss? Usually somebody's already dropped something in the comments. We haven't seen anything so far, though. You guys are leaving me hanging a little bit. Not ready for that. Questions, topics, drop them down below. We can always work stuff in. Because I'm working on my I'm sorry gift for being late. We'll see how it goes. Phone's going off. What do you know? So I did swing the pure, what is it? The NDM1. I'm not even sure what the NDM1 stands for, but I'm going to tell you something. It's real nice. So we reviewed the Integrity 2 earlier in the year, and I liked it. I thought it was a nice bat. But it could have stood to be a little more forgiving. I still don't misunderstand me. Like, I still really, really like the Integrity 2. And it's just like going from 220 standard to 240 standard. I feel like it could have been a little bit more forgiving. But the durability was pretty good, and the performance was great once you got it loosened up. It was decent out of the wrapper, and then it was just a rocket launcher once you got it worked in. And the NDM1 is essentially supposed to be their version of a game ready bat. Sorry, multitasking. It's essentially supposed to be their version of a game ready bat, and just being fully transparent here, companies have tried game ready bats in the past, and you either run into durability issues or they're not much different than anything else that's already on the market. Somebody help me out. Miken and Worth advertised game ready bats, quote unquote, and I never once noticed a difference in a single bit of the bat. Like, I would have never thought twice about it being any different than anything else I've ever swung. But they wanted to market it as game ready and hot out of the wrapper because, you know, that's how you get things to sell. NDM, name doesn't matter. I like that. So let's see. Okay, yeah. So it's the Super Freak Game Ready Edition. Okay, so it literally was named the Game Ready Edition. Um, I always thought those were kind of funny. Like, it was kind of a gimmick thing, and genuinely felt no different. Like, they're game ready anyway. That's what I never understood, is like, those bats were game ready anyway. How can you make it a game ready? And then there was all the rumors going around that, oh, it's it's the game ready edition. They test they put all the shells in a compression tester before they send them out, while they're still in the factory, and the ones that test really low, they made those the game ready edition ones. And I mean, I'm not saying that things like that might not happen from time to time, but actually, yeah, I am. But like, sometimes I wonder if people hear the things they say when they say stuff like that. Like, do you hear yourself? It's just wild, bro. It's just wild. Some of the theories and things that people can come up with. But, it is what it is. They sold a lot of bats, and those things held a lot of value. My guy Quentin, who you've seen on the channel a little bit, he's a good friend of mine. He was all about the Super Freaks for a while. Now, I will say, he was into the Super Freaks not because of the whole game ready gimmick thing. He was just really comfortable with that bat. And I'm all for being comfortable with a bat and wanting to load up, wanting to hoard, you might say. As long as it's not something that we're going to be overpaying for. Like, I'm openly a fan of the D2E Psychos. One of, like, my hands down, one of my favorite bats of all time. I'm going to be really sad when mine breaks, but I've got something dope coming in the mail from my boy Bogglefar. CV Laws in the chat. Chris, remind me, text me after this is over with, and if you're still here, and don't let me forget to do that, so I don't lay down and forget, because I feel like I might lay down and forget. But he hooked me up with something cool. I'll probably do an unboxing of that. I'm not gonna do a video on it or anything, because I've already reviewed the bat, but I thought it would be kind of cool based on the fact that I'm a Headbanger rep. I might as well get me a Headbanger exclusive to be gaming. But I probably, honestly, won't game it until the Psycho is gone. And dude, it's got to be getting close. It's just got to be. It's almost unfair, especially even just hitting 52s this weekend with it. It just, gosh, man, what a bat. I don't know what they did different. I don't know if they ever did anything different. The rumor from a very reliable source, I used to have a friend of mine that worked almost essentially in the R&D department, and he basically told me that it was, what would he say? It was a DC-41 with a different handle, which is why it felt and sounded different than the DC-41. The handle is going to give it a little bit different of a tune based on the stiffness and design of the handle. I shouldn't say design, but you know what I mean. And whatever handle they used, whatever they did, good Lord, they did it right. That's all I'll say. I absolutely love that bat. I wish I could find like a bajillion of them and just hoard them and hang on to them forever, and like put them under my bed and maybe sleep with one, and that kind of thing. Like do the weird stuff. My wife actually, one time I had, I can't remember. I had a bat that was almost the same level of like, love this thing. And my wife was like, "This is so ridiculous. I can't believe you're doing this." It's like, you have a bunch of these. Why don't you just swing one? You can't swing them all at the same time. It's like, woman, you don't understand. Like, until you've been there, until you've done it, till that softball bug has bit you, you don't understand wanting 4 or 5 of the same bat. Because, like, what if they don't make them anymore? What if you can't find them? What if the value goes up? What if the raffle pages go crazy? What if Facebook used bat prices go nuts because of, which is a really good point somebody brought up. I never thought about it. Stimulus checks was obviously part of it because, it's money. So many people just blew their stimulus check, put it in the bank, do something with it other than spend it on softball stuff. You never know when you might need it. Money advice 101. And then the other side of it was, I don't need this money. I'm just going to blow it and go out and buy something dope. I said something dope, not some dope. So there was, everybody that was like, I'm going to go out and buy something. We've got all these people that have got money burning a hole in their pocket. And then we've got all these people that have got quote unquote gems. So the bat market just kind of got squirrely and out of control. Just to be frank. Let's see. So Fat Guy BP says Indian 1 is a hot bat. So Adam, yes, I saw that you have posted your review on it. I've been so freaking busy these last few days that I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch any YouTube. Does anybody here watch Cletus McFarland on YouTube? I love the guy. I love his content. Cannot get enough of it. But I haven't even watched his content yet. He's doing the jet boat challenge right now. And sorry, not the jet boat, but the $2,500 boat challenge. And it's cracking me up. Those guys are absolute nuts. And I haven't even gotten caught up with his content. Like I've got like a order of like priority that I watch stuff in, and just I'm nerding out here for a minute on you. Now that Nick Merckx doesn't play much Call of Duty anymore, I don't really watch his content. There's a guy that plays with him. His name is Teep. He's like a 17-time Call of Duty world champion. Dude is ridiculous. Very fun to watch. And obviously his gameplay is just disgusting. So I watch his stuff, and then I watch Mutex as well. Mutex streams on Twitch. He's a very good player. So like I watch my Call of Duty stuff, and then I watch my car stuff. I've got Lawrence LT Tolman. He does all kinds of like truck builds and stuff. And then I've got Cletus McFarland. That's like my go-to over everything is old Cleet. And I got his content. It's like number one. And then I've got Lawrence LT Tolman. He's always building all kinds of cool trucks. And then I've got a few softball guys that I follow that I like to watch their stuff as well. And I've got a list. I put everything in a watch later list and then just like play it as I'm doing stuff. Trying to get off my ass and get back in the gym. And like I want to use like that playlist for that. So I've actually got my treadmill and stuff in my garage. I go out there and I do my walking and stuff. And it's like my thing is like if you're gonna lay around the house and watch YouTube and you've got a treadmill or a bike or something at your house, go do it on there. Instead of laying in the bed or sitting on the couch, go do it in there. And that's what I've been doing. So I've got a treadmill out there with a TV and everything set up there in front of it. I can push my phone to the TV and watch that stuff on there. And I've been doing that, but like poor kitchen words are hard. Poor kitchen decisions are very much a thing around this house. So you can walk and walk and walk and lift and lift and lift all you want, but if you ain't doing the right things, it don't matter. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I like to kind of stock up all that content and then use it for the treadmill time. And I'm looking forward to getting caught up on all that stuff. I'm probably actually going to watch Adam's NDM1 review when I get done here. Because like that bat really, I really like that thing. It was a lot of fun. And I actually think... let's see. Maybe. Yeah, I did. So yeah, so Josh texted me already and said Casey messed up and sent me a 26.5. Listen, when it comes to bat weights and things like that, as far as like people sending me things and people wanting to send me stuff to review, you kind of can't be ungrateful. Like it would be ungrateful of me to say, nah, you know what? No thanks. Like I don't want that. It's a 26.5. I don't swing 26.5s. Now, honestly, I have at times turned 25s down because I do nothing but fight it the whole time, and it just does not give me a good read on a bat. I will say that. But anything else that, as long as it's at least a 26, and I know going in, like, look, it's a 26. I'm not going to be as capable as what I normally would be with this. I can work with it and, kind of get the job done. And at least get, the idea of what I need out of the bat to know, like, what this bat would do if it were heavier. I'm fortunate enough that I have swung enough bats that, like, I can tell you weighting and tweaking wise, like what would work better for me. And I swung the NDM1 this morning. That's where I was at, was BP, honestly. That's why I was late. A couple of things came up that pushed us late. I knew I might be like 5 minutes late, but be transparent. We had a lot of fun at BP this morning. So we hit the Mach 1, the balanced Mach, the Boss 302, whatever it is. The ASA version of that from Worth. If you swing a balanced bat and you don't have one of those in your bag, you're doing it wrong. I'm telling you right now. If you play ASA and you like balanced bats, DM me. Go to Headbanger and get one. Whatever you got to do. If you swing balanced bats and you play ASA, that should be no question in your bag. Like, I'll be honest and tell you right now. Number one for ASA for me so far. I know I haven't posted a ton of ASA content, and yes, Grumpy Snacks is going to take another jab at me about the ASA content. I don't care. But that bat was dope. I'm not even a balance bat guy, but something about the Worth and the Mimicking technology and it being balanced just makes it work really good, man. I mean, really good. So they got it figured out, and that thing was an absolute rocket launcher. So we hit the 52s with the balanced and then the hard stuff with the MDM1. That MDM1 was fun. So it's marketed as a game-ready bat. And I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like I said, we've talked about the game-ready bat thing. We just covered that. And I put it on the tester, and I was surprised to see it came in at, like, I want to say a little over 260. And we put probably close to 75 swings on it. It was just kind of one of those, like, all right, this thing's good. We've got what we need out of it. It's fun to swing, but I got to get going type of deals. But I told Brian, and I'll even mention it in the review and everything else, the last couple of swings I took with that thing, I thought for sure, like, we always kind of take guesses on what the bat's going to be testing at. I said, what do you think? And he said, 245. He said, what do you think? I said, 210. I thought there is no way that this bat still passes compression. Not a chance. No way in hell will it pass compression, just based on how it's hitting, how it sounded. And lo and behold, it was like right at 250, 250-ish, I'm going to say. Because obviously I'm taking an ASA tester and converting to a U-Trip with a chart that I found online. Don't even know how accurate the chart is. But I have had people test bats on my tester and then take them to a tournament and have them tested and they passed. So there's obviously got to be something to that that's accurate. But we're like low 250s on one side. Now, the other side, I did have come in at like 235-ish. So one side of it does fail. So theoretically, yes, the bat is failing. But the same side that I tested, and we always turn the bat when we hit, the same side of the bat that I tested only dropped 10-ish pounds. And it was just hitting nukes. I mean, I was extremely impressed in how that bat was hitting. So, hats off to Pure. Like I said, I always like swinging new stuff anyway. In terms of, I've already swung the Integrity 2. I haven't swung any of their two-piece stuff, but it's just something new. It's something different. It's advertised as a game-ready bat. And it was definitely different than the Integrity 2s because we put it on the tester and saw it testing in the 260s instead of the Integrity 2 that I have that is like off the freaking chart, like somewhere in the 300s. But I said that to say that basically it's going to it'll break in and come down pretty quick, and then it'll hold at a certain point, and then it'll slow down and start kind of creeping its way down like a normal bat would. But it was definitely and obviously something different, and it was cool to swing it. Thanks to Casey for thinking of me and sending that out. Josh is picking on the guys for sending me. Let's see, I'm trying to do something here. Josh is picking on the guys for sending me the wrong thing. I should say the wrong weight, but like I said, it was a 26.5. I wish it would have been heavier because I can't get distance. My biggest thing is I just can't get the distance out of the lighter stuff. But Like if I could get, and I don't know why, it's probably just something in my swing, because the exit speed, all the exit speed we were getting out of that thing said, you know, if you could lift a ball with this thing, it would be distance for days. It would be just disgusting. So there's no doubt there's something to it for sure. Let's see. So I'm almost done with my little project here. Freddie J wants to know how much the testers usually cost. Testers are, from all the research that I've done and the websites that I've seen, you can look at spending close to $1,000 on a bat tester. And I am extremely and very over the moon grateful for Eric's son for helping me out and getting me a tester so we can have it for the channel. It's been very beneficial, and I can't tell you how many ways. Eric has done a lot for this channel. So grateful for him and everything he's done. For those of you that don't know, I maybe it's in the description. I'll have to see. I do have a Patreon page. And basically, if you don't know what Patreon is a way, it's basically monetary support. You can agree to spend X amount of dollars a month, or you can make a one-time donation. And it's basically, it's a secure way to send someone money or support someone in a way. Like if I was, someone could pick up the phone or pick up their phone and text me and say, hey, I like your channel, I want to support you. Can I send you some money? This is like a secure way to do that. You can even do it anonymously, I believe, if you choose. And there's protection there for me as well. Because the world is a weird place these days, man. Not even the world, the people in it. The people in it. I've seen where people will buy a bat from someone, get the bat, and then claim that something was wrong with it and do a chargeback. And then there the person is with your bat, and you have to give them their money back too, because they found a way to loophole and scam you. I've seen it happen doing raffles. That's why I don't really review and raffle a whole lot anymore. I would love to review and raffle, but you almost can't hardly do that anymore. And that's kind of one of the big things with why I only prefer to use PayPal when I buy and sell stuff. I don't like Venmo. One thing a lot of people don't know and don't realize, there is no buyer or seller protection for Venmo. Venmo is 100% based on trust. I don't know about Cash App either. I don't use it. I only have Venmo because so many of my friends do, and they don't like PayPal. And honestly, Venmo is a lot more convenient for just like the instant transfer stuff. But Venmo has its quirks too. I'm not a huge fan of it. And sorry, I'm multitasking here. I'm not a good multitasker sometimes. Basically, Patreon is a way to securely, send support and money and, support the channel in a way that you can. And Eric has done, I think we've only got 3 or 4 Patreon subscribers, and I do believe YouTube has unveiled something that is basically close to the same. They can just do it directly on here, and when YouTube makes their very small payments to me every month, that money would be also included in that. But I haven't really looked too far into that. At the time, Patreon is what I wanted to roll with, because the plan at the time, going into this year, I hadn't planned on taking any more subscriber bats unless it was somebody that I knew I could trust, in terms of if something goes wrong, I know that they're not going to be mad at me. They'll understand. I can make the deal right and not get blasted about it. Guys like Eric and people like that, they have sent me stuff for years and understand shit happens sometimes. It's just how it goes. Because I've had a couple pretty close calls and told myself I really don't want to mess with this anymore. So the plan was to set up the Patreon page, and anybody that offered hey, would you be willing to review this bat? I could just say, hey, look, I love and appreciate that you want to send me stuff. It means a lot to me, and it really does. That people are like, hey, you want to try this out? You want to try that out? They're helping. They generally want to take their time that they worked to earn this money, and then took their brand new bat and said, I'm not even going to swing this thing. I want to send it to this guy so he can swing it. And then you take money out of your pocket to ship me the bat, and stop and think too, like, now it's a used bat, so the value's gone down on it. That means a lot to me that people are willing to do that for me. But it was just kind of reaching the territory of something's going to go wrong one of these days, and I want to put a stop to it before it does. And the idea behind the Patreon page was basically like, look, I really appreciate and genuinely admire the fact that you want to support me. Here is a better way to support me, and you don't have to send me your bat. I can put the money towards something that needs to be reviewed, or maybe people, and there was even situations where somebody wouldn't want to send me something that I've already reviewed and just haven't posted yet because they look and see it on the channel and haven't found it yet. So there's a multitude of things that the Patreon page is supposed to do, and I never really pushed it all that hard because with the way the world works these days, bats are at a premium, and keeping them in stock is even harder. Thankfully, I've had plenty of support and the viewership, and the little amount of money that I have made from YouTube has gone towards buying and selling a handful of bats just to get some more reviews in. Stand by for me for just a second. I have a phone call I have to take. All right, what would be a podcast without a phone call, right? So, yada, yada, yada. Did a lot of talking and everything else just to say, Patreon page is there. One of these days, I'm going to get to use it the way it was intended to be used. And thank you to everyone for the support, no matter how you've done it. Let's see. Catching up with the chat here. I saw a question in here earlier that I was going to try and answer. Well, I told you guys to fire off some questions. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Who would I think will win the major this year? Resmondo or Smash It? Honestly, I got to go Dan Smith. I really do. Resmondo has seemed to rise to the occasion at times. And they can be even hit or miss most of the year and still show up and just be absolute monsters at the major at the World Series, whatever. And I think some of that also stems from the fact that some of these guys do build their teams around this tournament. Like they can, go through the year and they still, trust me, they still play well in all these other tournaments, but they're building their team around unlimited home runs at the Major World Series. And at Suncoast, you want a lot of powerful lefties or guys that can push the ball the other way or guys that can even, at times, hit through the wind. It's a big dogs game when you get down there and you're talking the Major World Series. You're talking the best of the best, the best of the best. So, you're still going to have your guys that are going to base hit and do that kind of thing. But for the most part, it's going to be whoever can hit the most home runs is more times than not going to win the game. As long as you don't take yourself out of your element trying to hit home runs. I've seen people make the comment about that tournament before, like, it looks like all these guys are doing a swing for the fences because it's unlimited and blah, blah, blah. But a couple things that you have to consider when you're watching that tournament, you sit back and you look. They're playing on a major league sized baseball field. And now they are on turf. They used to be on, very well manicured grass and dirt. But now they are on turf, which means that ground balls and choppers and and one hop stuff, line drives that would normally be through an infield are now being fielded because the infielders can play so deep. So what element that changes with the infielders being able to play so deep, because the ball gets on them so fast. These guys can miss a ball and still hit it 90 plus miles an hour. So they're mishitting a ball and it's getting to an infielder so fast. The bases are 80 feet. So you've got guys playing deep, which means you can't sneak a ground ball through. It's going to be hard to sneak a line drive through. So you're basically giving yourself, you have to hit it over them without hitting it to an outfielder or hit it into a gap. So you're going to see a lot of guys working really hard and missing, trying to lift stuff just because it's hard not to sometimes. Now, I will be interested to see what the 240 bats will do for this, especially now that the guys have had like a year to adjust to them, a full season with them. Because it's obviously going to take away from everybody being capable of hitting home runs. But the guys that should be hitting home runs will. And, you know, it's the guys that should be hitting home runs will. And it should still be a hitter's game. Don't mistake the fact that defense still makes a lot of difference in tournaments like that. And especially when you get to that level, your defense, I'm telling you, watching some of those guys play, and even I've never been to a major tournament, but I have been around people that play at that caliber, watched them play, played with them, been on the field with them. And dude, I'm telling you, the defense is what sets them apart. Even Don Cooper said it in an interview I had with him eons ago. I asked him, I said, what would be your advice for anybody looking to move up? Anybody wanting to be the next up-and-coming player? What would your advice be to them? And he was blunt and he was honest, and he said it right off the rip. He said, play defense. You know, people are reaching out to sponsors and coaches and guys like Don and saying, oh, hey, you know, I'm hitting, 800 playing C, really want an opportunity, got good pop, can hit the ball anywhere. And Coop will say, all right, well, what position you play? Well, I catch. I'm a catcher, EH catcher. Oh, well, that's cool. We've already got 3 of those. Can you play short? Well, no, I got a bad arm. I used to be able to, but I can't very much anymore. Well, I'll tell you something. There's a lot of guys on those fields down there at that tournament that could play any position on that field. And dude, the defense makes the difference. I remember we were playing it was like a little small podunk thing in Columbia, Missouri, and Dan Bean, who is, I believe he's back on Dan Smith's roster. Dan Bean made an appearance. He is a conference pitcher, very good conference pitcher, very good hitting conference pitcher as well. And he made an appearance down there. We're playing them in the championship game, and dude, I go to hit a ball, supposed to be in the right center gap. I rolled over the top of it and hit a line drive right at his feet. And I'm telling you, it came off the bat, and I thought, oh, God. I've hit this guy. I might as well go out there and put myself on the mound because they're just going to kill me. It was like it all flashed through my mind in like an instant. And I mean, he just like scooped it up at his toes like I rolled it at him. I might as well have just walked out there and just dropped it at his feet so he could pick it up. I mean, it was just insane. It was a bang-bang play. Like, I hadn't even finished my backswing, and he's already got the ball picked off the ground. And I just thought, holy shit! Like he's not a small guy. He's not big. Don't get me wrong. He's not like big fat like me or nothing. But he's not a small guy. And the fact that he could get to his feet that fast and defend them that well, that's nuts. Hi. And obviously it sound like I'm name dropping here a little bit, but Kevin Bazat being local to me is Resmondo's middleman, probably the best middleman in the conference. People can argue and say whatever they want about him. Dude's a gamer. He changes the play of everybody around him. He makes everybody better. And he knows what the fuck he's doing. And having him just being around him, watching him play, even having him on your team, dude. It almost feels like a cheat code. There's people that joke around saying, "Oh, this certain player, that certain player is a cheat code." That guy's a cheat code. And just the stuff that he can come up with, the plays that he can make, and he makes it look easy. It's impressive to watch. Defense makes the difference, and it's going to make a difference at those tournaments too. 100%, no doubt about it. So, just wrapping up here, final thoughts. Does anybody else have anything they might want to discuss before we finish up here? Open to suggestions, open for whatever. You guys just need to tell me what you want. And I do believe, like I said, this will be the last day shift, whatever you want to call it. Basically, this will be the last podcast for this time frame, as far as I know, unless I get screwed over. So, oh yeah? Oh. My wife's over here acting like a nerd. So this should be the last tournament now she's got me distracted. This should be the last podcast for this time frame, and I do believe that I'm going to look into launching a second channel just to kind of clean this channel up a little bit. I kind of thought about that and thought about it, and I do think that's what I'm going to do. So I want to clean this channel up a little bit, because like if you scroll through the channel and you look and see, like it's cluttered with podcasts every Thursday, and if there's times where I do post a lot of content, then so much of it is video content, video podcast. It's just, it kind of looks like a cluttered mess, and I don't like that. Like, I want someone to come to the channel looking for a bat review and be able to find said bat review and not have to sift through a bunch of versions of the podcast just to try and find what they're looking for. If that makes sense. Next throwback video should be up tonight. It's going to be good old Easton Synergy. It could be a good old Easton Synergy. It's an old school stuff right there. Thing has like 2 6-inch zippers on both sides of it. It's going to be short and kind of to the point a little bit. Not a whole lot of talking to be done in this one, because it's dude. I mean, the bat was a rocket launcher. We had a lot of fun swinging it. It's what what I've been known to call something as a giggle stick at times, because you just hit it and you just laugh. You just laugh at how good it is. No, I'm not putting the dog on the podcast. No, he is not. What a buffoon. I told her to come home, and this is what I get to deal with. So that'll be up tonight. I am looking to get league done and over with for the night, and then come home, knock that out. Yes, I have league tonight. It's Thursday. No, because it was the week before Labor Day. Would you like a microphone? Sorry? No, don't call me a butthole. Just call me a butthole, guys. Can you believe that? Nobody. Probably. All right. Stand by here. All right, I just need like 10 more things going on in my house at once. That's really all I need. Maybe this is a sample size of what's going to happen when we try and podcast. Hopefully not. So we can get this podcast going. Because the evening show is going to be a little bit of an adventure. I do feel like it's going to be a better opportunity to be able to have guests and things like that. So I am looking forward to that. Why is it doing this? So it'll be a better opportunity to have guests and things like that. And I feel like it will definitely get more views, because who else is sitting around at 11 o'clock in the morning waiting on me to go live on YouTube? Obviously don't answer that question, because I know every one of you are, but I'm saying in terms of, getting more views and that kind of thing, it'll be a better opportunity to do things like that if we can. Sorry, squirrel. Be a better opportunity to do things like that if we can be live when there would be a chance for more viewers. So we'll see what happens with that. Edit, paste. Why is that not showing up? So let's see. Favorite conference hitter? Oh, man, that's a good one. That is a good one. Favorite conference hitter, probably going to be my guy Davis, Billardello, honestly. Dude, he just sticks it, man. He just absolutely sticks it. The year that he won offensive MVP for the conference, he was so much fun to watch. Dude could miss. He'd get way off the plate, slap one down the third base line, or at least give it a shot. If he missed, that's fine. Here, I'll just stuff it down your throat down the first base line. Pop for days. Just hit the ball wherever he wanted to. Hit for power. Keep the ball down. Hit whatever gap he needed to. It was very impressive to watch him make that run. He's definitely got to be one of my favorites. Obviously, everybody likes watching Josh Riley hit. He's earned the title professional hitter, and there's no doubt that he is for sure that. And one guy that, obviously he's not theoretically retired, and I'd be interested to know if he's even had at-bats this year. I used to like to watch Helmer hit. For somebody that can hit a ball as hard as he can, he still controlled it very, very, very well. And it was always impressive to watch how hard he could hit a ball and still command a ball around the field too. It was pretty cool to watch. So I'd like, back in the day, in his swing was really good too. And another one that doesn't even play in the conference anymore, probably one of my favorite slow pitch swings to watch. I could sit and watch him swing all day. Is Denny Crine. Denny Crine is obviously still playing softball, but to my knowledge, he's not in the conference anymore. But kind of going back and watch some of his videos sometimes, he is a large human. He is a very large human. You see some of these guys and you think, oh, he's a big guy, whatever else. Like I met Denny Crine in person and walked up. I was walking past him and was just going to say hey and keep walking. We were on a field shagging balls, and just kind of expected him to be like, who's this nerd out here? But he approached me, shook my hand, said, hey man, he said, I'm Denny, what's your name? And dude, he went to shake my hand and his fucking fingers could have touched my wrist. It's his hands are huge. Just everything about this man is just humongous. So it's no wonder that he could hit a ball like he does, and he just makes it look so smooth. His swing is fluent. It starts and it never stops. It's not whippy. It doesn't get crazy. It's not like he has this big, giant leg kick and then he does a big bat hitch. Literally, his swing starts and it never stops, and it's smooth. It's controlled. It has the same tempo from beginning to end. It's fluent. He drives through the ball every time. It's so so good to watch. I mean, it's effortless because he's big, but he uses it well. He is no doubt one of my favorite swings to watch. As a matter of fact, sitting here talking about it, I'm not a big fan of playing other people's videos on my channel. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we're gonna do this one. Oh my gosh, that's so loud. Let's see, pause this music.
27-14, the home run hitters against the manufacturer hitters, and then now we have up Denny Crine from Mimicking Sports. The hometown favorite, Mr. Denny Crine. Let's see if he can keep his little lead. Can you believe that? And like I said, the majors have not been beaten yet until maybe today here in Henderson, Las Vegas, at a Royal Grande, field number 5. No pressure. Oh, 1 out.
Throws it over his head so he can't hit it.
Denny had that. He don't drink, does he? Oh!
Look at that. I mean, it's like it started and it never stopped.
Oh, 1. Oh, number 2, hit the light, hit the light. Oh, man. Oh, my God. That's like automatic. That's a machine right there. Oh, my God. Oh, get up, get up. Oh, you got it? There you go. Oh. Oh, my God. Look at that. That's far. That's a little far. That's a little bit far. Oh, good Lord. He's aiming for the light. I'm telling you, he's going to aim for that light. Oh, Jesus.
It's just so crazy. I mean, he just looks like he's getting loose.
What do you think? I don't know. You might get lucky. Oh, my God.
Let me move this over here.
Jesus. Take it. Hey, take your time. Take your time. Take a big deep breath. Oh, good Lord. It's automatic.
Let it go, man.
Good Lord. Go. It's going to be hard to beat the 2-time champion here. Oh, watch it, kid. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, good Lord. Oh, was that hit?
9.
Oh. 10 and 1 out. Chris, what the? Oh, my God. Look at that. He's aiming for that light. I'm telling you, he's aiming for that light. Oh, my God. And the first one was horrible. The first swing was horrible. I'm trying to get on it. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, no. That's 12
Jeez.
bro.
Oh, my God. Just look at it. He still had that first horrible swing. Oh,
I love, too, how this guy is, like, busting his chops. He's giving him no mercy, and he's still just absolutely just whooping on it.
good Lord. Woo. Ooh. Oh, my God. Throwing some game. Fake them out. Fake them out. Fake them out. Those are fakes.
Don't matter. And he still hits it out. Foot and a half short, and he just still goes out and gets it.
This guy's here from your hometown. This is your hometown home run hitter. Look at that. Holy smokes. Jeez. Holy, how many calories?
1 out.
One horrible swing. One horrible swing. Yeah, windmill on it. Yeah, think about. Give him something. Oh, good Lord. Look at there. There's a second second out. Yeah, snap him. Snap him out there.
Okay, 16-2.
Oh, my God.
I think he went both bats.
Jeez, those are lasers.
17-2. Just fair.
Jeez, man, I'm freezing out here. Jeez. Woo. Woo. Good. You guys been hiding him back there in his backyard over here. I'm telling you. Good Lord. There's another out. Oh, that's an out. That's an out. Yeah, that's an out. Take that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, 3 outs. 3 outs. How many over? Holy smokes. 2 to 4 outs. He's feeling sorry for you now, Chris. He's making some outs. How many did you hit?
$100 you can't double it.
It's just so funny.
Number 5? Is that number 5?
Just to see, like, you know, everybody busting his chops and just how relaxed and just easy going the guy is.
He's getting tired, Chris. He's getting tired. He's getting tired.
I mean, and just absolutely putting on a show. Like, I wish,
He's getting tired.
A, I wish I could hit like that, and B, like, I wish I could, like, hit with people watching like that. Like, I can't even have somebody standing behind me while I hit. Like, it's like a, I can't have anybody standing behind me while I hit, and I can't have anybody talking while I hit. Like, I'm always afraid I'm going to, like, hit somebody with my bat or something.
That's a bad pitch. He's gonna go. He's gonna go. Ow! That's 6 outs, sucker. Come on, 20 and 6, right, Ari? Or 21? 21 and 6. 22. It's up, boom. Let's go, ball. Come on. Oh my God! Another one. Oh, good Lord. Jesus. Woo-hoo. Good Lord. I guess the home run hitters ain't winning tonight. Oh, look at that. Holy
Jeez.
smokes. I'm telling you, this guy's here in your backyard. You guys are hiding him. Oh, oh my God. 34 for 100. 34 for 100. Chris doubled it. Come on. Oh! How many is that, Ari? 26. You need 10 more. Oh, God.
They got 19.
Oh, God. I hope you have $100 on you, Chris. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Woo. Good Lord. Get up. Woo. This is just warm up, man. This is warm up for him. I'm telling you. This is dirty. Oh, how many outs? 7 outs. He ain't gonna get it, dude. He ain't gonna get it. He's not gonna get it out. He's not gonna get it out. He's getting tired. Look at him. He's getting tired. Come on, Danny. Come on, Danny. Throw a show. Come on. Oh, how many is that, Artie?
Where you going? Get back in there, sir.
Oh, it went out. He thought it was gonna go out. Yeah.
Back in there, sir. 6 more. 6
How
spots,
many you got,
nothing.
man?
Come on. 28.
28 home runs? 30. 31! How many does he need, Chris? 34? He needs what, 48? 48? He needs 48, he said.
He changed it.
Chris, he only needs 3.
First he said double it.
He doubled it. What, 34? Is that what he needs? Oh, get up! Get up! That's out of here.
So, yeah, Gio, it's either an MV1,
2 more, little buddy.
either an MV1 or one of the OG Psychos, like one of the originals.
Oh, good Lord, $100 is gonna sound good. Danny, we're going to eat. $100, Danny, we're eating.
Yeah, so,
We're gonna
yeah.
eat, Danny. We're going somewhere, all you can eat. You better hit this one. Oh yeah, fake him out now. Don't fake him out to $100. We have $100, man.
Hit the home run.
Oh, he did that on purpose. All right, we got a final. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting us. What was the final?
So that right there, I could watch just for. I can tell you how many times that video's got 31,000 views. I bet 2,000 of those are me. Sometimes when I get bored and I'm just like kind of itching or looking for softball content, I'll kind of thumb through some old videos like that. And dude, that's one of them, man. That I could just sit and watch that swing or watch him hit for hours. It's so much fun. And it's kind of one of those things where this kind of falls back to, people want to mimic their swing to look like someone. You want to say, oh, I want to swing like this person. I want to swing like that person. But here's the kicker with that is, say I wanted to build my swing to look like Denny Crine's. The big problem with that is the fact that I am not anywhere near built like Denny Crine. So how am I going to use like my mechanical leverages and things like that to mimic Denny Crine's swing when he is a mammoth of a human? He's a foot taller than I am, and he's not 6'9". I'm 5'9" in freaking heels. I'm not gonna lie. But he's a good 6 to 8 inches taller than I am. He's obviously got way more muscle mass than I do. He's just an overall bigger human being. He's got a professional sports background. So how can I justifiably build my swing and say I want to swing like him? Like, it's not practical. So that can be a slippery slope at times. When somebody says, I want to swing like Denny Crine, or I want to swing like Brett Helmer, like, you have got to make your swing. Sorry, multitasking. You have got to make your swing your swing. You can add nuances and you can add, certain things that, you can apply. Like, I can apply certain things to my swing from his swing. Like, I could apply like how smooth and fluent he is, but I've got to put in more effort than that. I just have to. Everything about that swing is just smooth, man. Everything about it. So I'm putting the finishing touches on my I'm sorry gift for you guys here. I promise. We're almost done. It'll be time for the big unveiling of the I'm sorry gift. So let's see. What's everybody got planned for the weekend? I was meant to ask that question when I started and I forgot. So what's everybody got planned for the weekend? Any softball coming up? I know that there's like world tournaments and stuff getting ready to start. I know that the seniors are starting to get their worlds stuff going. So everybody's getting ramped up for that. What's everybody got planned for the weekend? Or is everybody kind of taking the weekend off to lick their wounds from going hard last weekend? I know that, boy, I'm telling you, there was some absolute party animals in Jamestown this weekend. There was guys that, like, I do not know how they can do to their bodies what they did to their bodies. And I don't miss those days at all. The drinking and the partying and that kind of thing. I had my fun. I definitely had my fun. But I don't miss feeling hungover. I don't miss feeling like crap. I don't miss that stuff at all. Not even in the slightest. But I do know I had just talking with a few friends at work and stuff like that went extra hard for the weekend. They're like, oh, I'm just hanging out at home this weekend. Like they're walking around, been walking around work all week, feeling what they just did to themselves. Yeah, Chris, we the same height. I never claimed to be a tall guy. Just short and round, that's it. Gio, I'm not sure. I'm sure I have seen his performance at Safeco. The only thing I think of when I think of a like the long haul bomber stuff and all that stuff is Greg Cannell hitting the ball clear out of Petco Park. That was wild. Hit a ball clear out of Petco Park. Petco Stadium, whatever it is, basically where San Diego plays. They've got that giant brick building there in left field. Greg Cannell hit one over that building. Yes, they're hitting golf balls and swinging who knows what for bats, but like, go up there and see if you can do that. That's my argument to anybody that always says, oh, I could do that with this and that and carry on. Well, go do it then. Like, let's see it. Like, if you're that good, let's see it. But, the topic usually changes pretty quick. Funny, right? Crazy how that works. So we're finishing up here, guys. It's my I'm sorry gift. I do know that I think I'm off until Home Runs for Heroes. Are any of my locals coming to play Home Runs for Heroes? I think I'm going to have a team. I'm not really sure what my team situation is yet for that or moving forward. But I'll be there in some capacity. I just don't know what yet. More to come on that. Shit. But I'll be there for that. That may be, honestly, one of my last outings for the year. I'm not 100% sure. We'll just have to kind of play it by ear and see what happens with that. Like, I'm getting ready to go to day shift, and I don't know, like, how much. So, like, working overtime is going to be a little bit of an adventure now in terms of I might not be able to get away sometimes. Oh, gosh. So it creates a situation where I might not be able to get away sometimes. So I don't know that I'll be able to do a whole lot of softball. We'll just have to kind of see how everything unfolds and moves from there. But as of now, with the new work schedule, I understand that it's going to be compromising a little bit of my slow pitch softball time, you might say, and it might even hinder getting these reviews in a little bit, but we'll figure out a way to make it work. That's going to be kind of an interesting thing, because like we go hit in the mornings, like Brian and I go hit at least once a week during the mornings, and then sometimes on the weekends as well. But with my schedule changing, it's really going to throw off him being able to hit, because now instead of me getting off work for the day and him getting out of bed for the day, I'll be getting off work and he's going into work, which means it's going to be midnight when he gets off, and I ain't going to hit BP at midnight. Alright. Grab that, move it there. Alright, you turds. Here we go. Image. Crop. Then put this here. Okay. Export. Export. Here it comes. Are you ready? Probably not. It's probably not even as eventful as you thought it was going to be, but I felt bad and I owed it to you. So let's go. Image. Okay. Browse. Desktop. Oh. I'm really dropping the ball here, ain't I? Image 3. Okay, where did oh? It's because it wasn't ready yet. Will be now. Oh gosh, gotta scale this. All right, well, here we go. I managed to somehow get this done while podcasting. But you're looking at BP Heroes top 5 U-Trip bats from 2021 so far. So we got the, well, obviously this is more than 5 bats, but hear me out. So when it comes to stuff like the Jenny and the Genesis, and the Freak 9R and the Freak 23, these are the same bat, but different end loads. The only thing I'll say is I mean, like I said, these are the same. The Jenny and the Genesis hit, felt, and perform the same. Just the Jenny's going to have more drive than the Genesis. The Freak 9R is going to have more drive behind the ball than the Freak 23. So it's just going to come down to preference at that point. But this is what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling for the top U-Trip bats for me so far for 2021. I've got more to swing. I've got more stuff to do. But I'm feeling pretty confident in this list and where everything is at on it. A lot of people hound me for stuff like this. I don't like doing it. I was thinking about throwing this together anyway. So I figured, what the hell? I'll go ahead and do it as an I'm sorry, as a last hurrah for the Morning Shift podcast. Down to 5 viewers, though. Tough. They all took screenshots and they're running off to post it somewhere. But either way, that's what we got for top bats so far this year. We got the Jenny and the Genesis at number 1. We're going to have the Freak 9R and the Freak 23 at number 2. The Davis Bellardello DeMarini Nautilus at number 3. Then the Worth Ryan Harvey Creature at number 4. And the Pure NDM1 coming in at number 5. Yes, I know we just swung that this morning. But, dude, if I can swing a bat and think it's like in the it's almost close down to 200 in the if I can think it's close down to 200 performance wise, it's got to be gas, and it was. I do feel like I got some better feedback out of some of these other bats, and as I sit and kind of reflect and think on it more, maybe I'll switch a couple around. I could potentially switch the NDM1 and the Creature around, but the top 3 are pretty much locked in my opinion. I know Brian felt otherwise. Brian felt that the NDM1 was very close to the Louisville's in a lot of categories, and I could have that argument. I could definitely hear him out on some of that, but some of this dwells down to me as just stuff that like you just cannot mess with. It's either stuff you can't mess with, stuff that's just foolproof, kind of dummy proof. And like I could feel confident suggesting any bat on this list for people. And no, Gio, there is no balanced bats. There's just not a ton of balanced bats on the market anymore, man. That's kind of the downfall. Inload is the way to go these days. It's marketable. It sells well. Everybody wants it. The balanced stuff just doesn't move, it doesn't sell. For whatever reason, it just does not. So they don't make a ton of it. I haven't even reviewed all that many balanced U-trip bats this year anyway, and I just, mere speculation, I do not think they would even be worth messing with, if you want me to be honest. These 240s have got to have mass behind them. No question, no doubt about it. They got to have something behind them to help them drive and hit a ball, because you're going to need the weight to work for you since the barrel is not. But looks like I just about ran all my crowd off, either leaving for lunch or maybe I took too long screwing around. I don't know. But that's all I got for this one, guys. I'll keep you updated on the situation as far as when the next podcast will be. But as of now, it will be at 9 p.m. Central next Wednesday evening. So we'll kind of play with that and go from there and see what we get. Thanks for typing in and checking it out. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next week at some point. Like I said, I'll keep you posted. Sweetheart, in case you hit it, BP here. I'll catch you next time.